Nah, I'm going to leave mine down. It's game day at Michael J. Bragman Stadium. The CNS North Stars 5-1, first in the SCAC Metro, with a matchup against the BVille Bees. Huge matchup tonight, and as I mentioned, a fight for the top of the SCAC Metro. A bunch of players with backgrounds in multiple sports. Hannah Mimas, the leading defender for the BVille Bees, going to be a star on the field tonight. Allie Cole, the leading defender for the North Stars. It's going to be a fantastic matchup both ways. Owen, what are your keys to the game?
I think BVille's got to keep Fran Tortork and Kane hiding behind that X for the goal. She's a very good leading goal scorer and assist leader for the North Stars. And the North Stars, they got to use Sam Klein, Molly McGrath, and Allie Cole to stop Mussolino and Gerhardt for the North Stars tonight.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great matchup tonight. Stay tuned here at Michael J. Bragman Stadium. Fran Tortora, the star of the game to look out for, but many more in this field. We'll be right back for some Lady North Stars lacrosse.
Sale, Molly McGrath
remove your hat, and you should place your right hand over your heart for the singing of our national anthem. We're pleased to have a recording of our CNS High School Chorus singing our anthem tonight.
And it's game day here at Michael J. Bragman Stadium. The Lady North Stars 5-1 facing the 4-1 Baldwinsville Bees. A lot of athletes packed onto this field for several sports, but tonight it's some lacrosse action here in Section 3. Cicero, New York. It's going to be a fantastic matchup, as I mentioned before. Two teams fighting for that first spot in the SCHC Metro, and it's just going to be fantastic. 52 degrees and a little bit breezy outside, but these girls are ready to go. My name is Kyle Marshak. Alongside me, Owen O'Keefe on the call tonight. Fran Tortora for the draw.
Correction there, Kyle. Tori Ionati.
Tori Ionati. What a way to start it, Owen. Hannah Mimas fighting for that one. Ball pops up into the air. Still a fight in the midfield for it. Those ground balls will be pivotal all night, but it looks like Mimas will pick it up. Quickly down the right side. There's going to be a lot of speed on the field on display tonight. Mimas, one of the athletes that you and I will highlight, Owen. Basketball, soccer, and lacrosse player. Now to X. Ball nearly pops out, but spinning around. BVille will slow things down. Top of the 8 now. Now rolling to the inside. Look at this defensive stand from CNS. Ball to the inside, they'll pick it up. Now rolling up to the midfield, Owen. The pace of this game is certainly going to be fast. The energy in the stadium before was certainly contagious. Did you feel it up here in the booth?
Oh, I feel it right up here, Kyle. You are for sure right there.
Yeah, I mean, especially the energy for BVille. I mean, it's just fantastic to hear them so excited for lineups. I know me as a soccer player, when those lineups were called, I was that man that was always the most excited to play, whether or not I got minutes on the field. And so it's just so fun to watch these girls get going. It's Fran Tortora, I believe, with the ball near X. Now to the middle. Inside, and they put it away. A quick start for the CNS North Stars. Hard to catch numbers up here in the booth, but nonetheless, the Lady North Stars starting it quick against a historically successful team, Owen, the Baldwinsville Bees, winning that 2019 state championship, and now with their first full season back, trying to kind of, play a season in a vengeance of not being able to compete last year. As we just get the call, Molly Molchinoff on the call. Molly headed to the Mount for some D1 lax. How athletic is Molly on the field, Owen?
Kyle, with these draws, if a North Star player doesn't come out of it with the middle, you will always see Molly in there, digging for the ground ball and just trying to get that ball back for her Lady North Stars and her teammates.
One thing I noticed just watching Molly a little bit is her speed. I mean, a shorter stature as the ball pops up in the draw, and BVille will pick it up again on the ground ball. Instead, the ball pops out. Still a fight for it in the midfield. As I was saying, Molly Molchinoff, a shorter stature, but still so athletic, and her speed is impressive with such a smaller frame. As on the penalty, BVille will pick it up. Speed on display again as they roll by. Passed into that attacking third. Now around X. Rolling into the inside, and they'll switch things up in the X. BVille to the left of the keeper. Now on top of the goal, and that one bounces in. Trading goals early on. A 1-1 ball game with 23 minutes to go here in the first half.
Kyle, you see they look to be the senior Georgetown commit Emma Gabhart, who has 12 goals and 9 assists on the season, going against that junior LaSalle commit Samantha Klein there, and gets the goal net in, for the Baldwinsville Bees, tying up this game 1-1 with 23 minutes left to go in this first half.
Great start both ways, as Owen says. Gebhardt on the play right there, just kind of taking it herself, no assist on the play. She just pops it right over the right shoulder of CNS goalkeeper Nicole O'Neill.
Correction there, Kyle. It's actually the sophomore Nicole Mira getting the start for night.
There's too many sophomores on this squad that are finding so much minutes. I know they do rotate goalkeepers a little bit, so Alyssa Wilson might find herself in the field tonight as well, as CNS gets their first draw win. Now up to the left side. I believe that's Iannotti.
Correction, Tortora there.
Now rolling to X, back out to the top of the 8. And in! Back and forth early on, and another goal for the CNS Lady North Stars.
Yeah, Kyle, that goal looked to be freshman Mackenzie Prentice, the daughter of head coach at the CNS girls lacrosse team, Stephanie Prentice.
Making her mother proud early on. A 2-1 ball game. The CNS North Stars getting hot early. So 22.5 to go here in the first half, and already 3 goals traded both ways. CNS in the favor of the 3. And now Iannotti for the draw.
Kyle, these two girls here for the draw, Tori Iannotti and Hannah Mimas, definitely have gone against each other on the soccer pitch many times, as they both are varsity soccer players for their respective schools. I'd like to see how that plays out on the lacrosse field here tonight.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. So many athletes from multiple sports backgrounds as the draw pops up in the air, and BVille will look to win the ground ball again. It's a great observation, Owen. A lot of these players have competed against each other in multiple sports. There's some basketball players and, as you mentioned, soccer players as well. Now BVille moving the ball around and now cutting to the inside. Another chance to put it away, and it just bounces wide. A good defensive stand for CNS, perhaps getting a little bit lucky as they get right on top of the crease. Another possession, switching things up. Now to the top. BVille likes to slow things down and rotate that ball around the crease, around that 8. Any way they can get the cut to the inside and find themselves right in front of the goalkeeper. Now to the left of the keeper, Nicole Mira. Now on X, out to the top. Back out to X. Owen, you and I can certainly hear a lot of chatter from up here in the booth. Communication aplenty.
For sure, Kyle. Lots of communication on the sideline from both teams trying to tell their girls what to do on this field.
Number 7, Emma Hollenbeck, handling things, now out to X. Nicole Mira turns around as she's trying to get an angle on this play, and BVille just continues to draw some clock. Now 21 minutes to go, so this stand's been for a few minutes now, and finally some action as the ball is pushed out of bounds, a buddy pass over the head of one of the midfielders for BVille, and so CNS gets to switch things over and get things going. 20.5 to go here in the first half, already 2-1 CNS, as another ball is bobbled in the midfield. CNS described by Coach Prentice as a fast break team, so this is their motion right here, just trying to push the ball upfield. Instead, they elect to slow things down just outside the midfield. Another low pass bounced around. That's Iannotti passing to the left side. Now Tortora to do some work. Trying to get out to the top. Mimas with a defensive stand. Some action on the inside, and finally a whistle. Looks like we'll have a penalty. So another chance for the North Stars to strike. Whistle blows to the top of the cage and just over. A hustle play from Fran Tortora, and they'll maintain possession.
One thing I'd like to bring up, Kyle, is this North Stars offense primarily run between Fran Tortora and Angela Beardsley hanging on that X. And then those fast breaks there form after the fouls, try and get those quick goals.
Another shot and saved. As you mentioned, Fran Tortora, one of the leaders of that offense, if not leaders of the entire squad, leading in both categories of goals and assists, 14 goals, 11 assists in the season, but now a chance for BVille to make a change. Right out to the top of the cage. Movement on the inside and put it to the back of the net. We're talking about the North Stars being a fast break team, and BVille responds quickly. All of a sudden, we're tied up here with 19 to go.
Kyle, you see that was a great assist from the senior Louisville commit Tiffany Natoli, who has 8 assists on this season and gets her 9th one there, as she gets that assist on the goal for the Baldwinsville Bees, and that this game up at 2 apiece for the North Stars and Baldwinsville Bees.
Great mention right there. There's a ton of D1 athletes on the field tonight as Gebhardt puts the ball away on the inside just on top of the crease. So another example of great ball movement by BVille early on, and all of a sudden we're tied up again. Emma Gebhardt, another one of those D1 athletes stuffed onto this small turf facility. They're headed to Georgetown. Only a freshman, and she's committed. Or a senior, excuse me. Too many numbers on this sheet, Owen, am I right?
You are very right, Kyle. Lots of numbers on this sheet.
As my producers give me a giggle to my left. Spencer Conjal in the studio today. He's been a big help all season for us. I suppose I'll mention Drew Williams as well on the camera most of the time. Building quite the broadcasting program here at CNS High School to broadcast great games like this. Tied up with 19 to go in the first half as the ball pops out, and CNS will move on the whistle out to the top of the crease. Rips a shot just wide. They'll maintain possession with another hustle play in the back. So with 19 to go, a chance to unequalize this matchup. Out to the top, Tortora. Ball bobbled on the inside. BVille will pick it up, and another fast break opportunity. Straight through the midfield. That's Tortora chasing him down. But the BVille Bees will have something else to say. Ball bobbled at the top of the crease. Pops back out. They'll elect to slow things down. You see Allie Cole trying to chase down that lead attack. Top of the 8 again. BVille Bees ripping low and saved. A quality save from Mira right there. Reflexes on display early on for the goalkeeping on both sides. Plenty of clock to go as another whistle happens. They'll pick right up and get going. Still tied as BVille had an opportunity, wasted it away with a quality save from Nicole Mira in case you missed it. Quality defense in the midfield from the Bees as they the North Stars, elect to move back. And a missed pass, don't turn your head, that ball whizzed right by, and now the North Stars with a chance to have to shut things down as the Bees fight for the ball on the sideline. Whistle on the play, BVille will maintain possession. Just trying not to get pushed out of bounds. Good box play from the North Stars. Ball pops out. And CNS will maintain possession. They'll run it right in. That's Iannotti on the ball.
Tortora for that correction, Kyle. Great defensive play by her there to knock the ball loose and get the North Stars in possession.
Now spinning to the inside. Ball pops out. Whistle on the play. Perhaps a chance for another penalty goal.
Like I brought up earlier, Kyle, the North Stars love to capitalize on these fast breaks here. Try and get the one-on-one with the goalies. Usually Brooke Molchnoff here. Let's see if she can net one here right now.
Speak of the devil. Brooke puts it away. Hit after the play. She'll be slow to get up, but nonetheless, unequalized. The North Stars up 3-2 with 16.5 to go.
Like I brought up earlier, Kyle, them North Stars love those fast breaks. Brooke Molchnoff gets the one-on-one with the goalie, and nets one in to give the North Stars this 3-2 lead.
Brooke Molchnoff, a little bit taller than her older sister. Quite the physical athlete nonetheless. And no lack of speed in both sisters as we've seen so far. Molly Molchnoff surprisingly fast, but Brooks got it as well. 3-2 ball game, 16.5 to go. Fran Tortora on Hannah Mimas. The D1 commit facing against the three-sport star for Baldwinsville. The ball pops out, and BVille will run away with it up the right sideline. Whistle plays. They'll play on. Another one from another check from behind from Tortora. They'll slow things down. That was Brooke Molchanoff, excuse me. So tough to differentiate these players. All so big and athletic. Number 16, Tiffany Natoli, running things up for the Bees. Fakes for the cut ball to the inside, instead back out to the top of the 8. Looking for a chance, now out to the right side. To the left of Nicole Mira. She'll have quite the job tonight with some of the attack on BVille. So impressive the numbers they have so far. Their leader, Liv Muscolino, 14 goals in the season. That ties Fran Tortora's nearly with 15. Coming into this matchup at least. Another whistle on the play off the ball. And we'll have a penalty. So the game begins to slow down just a little bit. A chance for the Bees to tie things up.
See if the Bees here, Kyle, can capitalize on a fast break that the North Stars just did previously. She elects to go out.
You mentioned it. She elects to go out. That's a great defensive stand from the North Stars to be quick on that whistle. Instead, the Bees will have to go back in and out, as number 1, Liv Muscolino trying to make a move. Look at that face guard defense from the North Stars. You hear the crowd roar a little bit. Is a huge defensive effort right there, but still so much time to tick away with the BVille Bees on this ball. They're really good at moving that ball around and trying to capitalize in every opportunity they can. Back out to X. They've circled Nicole Mira and company for a couple times now. To the inside. They missed the ball. A fight for it just in front of the crease. Whistle blows. CNS possession. Nicole Mira cleans things up. Ball pops right into her net. Believe that's Molly Mulch to get things going. 14 to go. 3-2 ball game. Lady North Stars, a fast break team, and they're trying to show it here with the speed up that right sideline.
Baldwinsville Bees are playing great defense here, keeping the North Stars pressured very, very far out on the field.
Absolutely, the Bees have forced CNS in and out of that crease multiple times. To no avail, really, as it's a 3-2 ball game. Ball pops out, pass to the inside. That's number 2, Tori Ionati passing out. Now to near X. To the left of the BVille keeper. Trying to find a spot to the inside. You see a lot of cutting women in front of the crease. Instead, they go to X.
It's North Stars offense, Kyle. Loves to try and pass and cut. Well, you see Fran Tortora and Angela Beards are hanging out in the X as these girls cut in like Brooke Molchanoff and Molly Molchanoff frequently do.
Ionati and Tortora trading passes. Tortora to the right of the crease. Goalkeeper standing idly. Now to the inside. Trying to find a spot. Can't quite get the angle. Good defense from the Bees in this effort. And nearly to no avail as a great save from the BVille keeper.
One thing I want to bring up on this keeper, Kyle, going into this game, this keeper for the Baldwinsville Bees has more saves than goals allowed on the season. Now, if I'm talking to you here, that's a key reason why this Baldwinsville Bees lacrosse team is 4-1 on the year so far.
As the ball pops out in the midfield, defensive effort from the North Stars translates to offense. A rip to the inside, just wide. As you mentioned, not beautiful numbers for Sam Tangway just yet, but a decent start thus far, keeping this game close 3-2, but the North Stars looking to extend their lead. Tortora, inside, ripped, off the post. Talk about some metal being your best friend. That ball just pops out. You hear some fans in disgust at how unlucky that play is, and I feel a little bit too. But as a former CNS soccer goalkeeper, I know the post is my best friend at times as well. I'm sure you understand that concept well too.
You saw there, Kyle, that North Stars offense again. You saw Brooke Molchanoff looked like there was cutting, and Fran Tortora hit her, gave her the ball, and she just got off the post. Very unlucky there.
Molchanov not afraid to shoot that ball right over the top of the keeper with her height. She tried to kind of just push it past her to the right side of goalkeeper Sam Tanguay and just found some metal. Now BVille at X. Trying to find an angle, can't quite do it. Rotating on X now. Out to the top of the crease, pushed out. Trying to find a spot, they can't quite do it. Lady North Stars with another extended defensive stand here. No lack of communication on the field tonight. Both sides chirping back and forth, whether to each other or amongst their teams. Out to X. Trying to find the cutting woman, can't quite do it. They've been great at pinning those moving targets as the Bees are knocked over, and perhaps another penalty opportunity for the Bees.
Looks like here we have number 21, the UAlbany commit, Jaden Frink, on the fast break for the Baldwinsville Bees here.
Let's see if her D1 accolades can carry over to this penalty attempt. Another defensive stand for the North Stars in that penalty, but the whistle blows again. They'll restart. Clock slowly ticking away now, nearly 10 minutes to go. So quarter into this ball game and a chance for the Bees to tie it all up. To the inside, ripped, saved by Mira, popped out. North Stars fighting for a stick from behind as she's knocked down. The BVille player will apologize. You love to see the sportsmanship in the field as we preach here at Michael J. Bragman Stadium. And possession for the North Stars. 10 minutes in, 10 minutes to go here in the first half. A 3-2 ball game in favor of the North Stars.
You can see there, Kyle, number 19, the junior Maya McGrath, who's committed to UAlbany to play defense there. Diving quick on the ball to get possession back to the North Stars. As you see they do here, she is fouled going down.
So the D1 commits trade some action as Jaden Frink will be out on a penalty just for a couple minutes now. North Stars playing man up, or woman up, excuse me. And you see the intent with that note in mind as they try and force the ball quickly upfield, but still a fantastic defensive stand from the Bees in this midfield. I've noticed it all night, just the pressure. They really collapse in on the ball carrier very quickly, Owen.
Baldwin Bees here are definitely riding up early on these North Stars, trying to keep that pressure up, slow them down. Because we said earlier, Coach Prentice likes to run a very fast break offense. Where BVille likes to take the game slow, as Coach Tabor had said earlier when we spoke to her.
You're absolutely right, Tabor. Very intent on having a fast-paced team, but not afraid to control the pace, whether it's slow or fast. I believe that's Ayanati fighting for the ball. Ripped to the inside. Low, and a beautiful save from Sam Tanguay, just tipping off the net, and the shot perhaps a little wide, but still a good defensive effort for the Baldwinsville Bees as the North Stars will reset here. Rotating out to the top, ball bobbled. Hannah Mimas will fight for it. Ball pops out again. North Stars trying to get possession in the midfield, but nonetheless, Mimas and company will get away with it.
Correction there, Sydney Hutala to get away with it for the Baldwin Bees. Kyle, that eyesight of yours, it's something else.
You know what? I've been complaining about the lack of glasses for a while now. Would hate to out my local glasses provider, but it's tough here in Cicero, New York. Number 2 turning around, and she puts it, stroking the net. Barely at any time, and the Baldwinsville Bees strike again. All of a sudden, it's tied up. Liv Muscolina, or Sophia Ayano, excuse me, ripping that one to the right side of Nicole Mira. Owen, what'd you see there?
Very quick offense there from the Bees. She just got around and ripped it around the corner of Nicole Mira to tie this game up 3-3, Kyle.
Hard to see who was face guarding her there, but simply perhaps a mental lapse as they let her go around X, tucked around the crease, and right into that right post of Nicole Mira's. And if I were a goalkeeper in that situation, I'd be eating up my defense and not allowing to create that space. I'd imagine you saw the same thing, Owen?
I very well did, Kyle. That was a great description of that play.
Man, maybe I should step into color sometime.
I think you should.
So a tie ball game, 8 minutes to go here in the first half. Teams trading goals back and forth. Hanamimis, Tortora for the draw. They've traded them so far. Pops out, but right into a BVille midfielder. Slash from behind, and BVille will maintain possession. They'll play on up the midfield to the 20. Out to the right of Mira. You see it again. The North Stars creating a little bit of space on these BVille attackmen. Just kind of giving them their territory perhaps behind that X. Not a team that likes to bring those deep holes behind there. BVille trying to make a move. Out to the top. There's Muscolino. She fakes to the inside, tries to make a cut, can't find any space. Ooh, she's knocked down as the ball pops out into another BVille net. They'll rotate to the right. Another opportunity for the Bees. Some great defense on display right there. We spoke to Prentice before the game, and she said that her main defenders are simply the most agile that she has on the roster. These girls are quick to stay in front of their attackmen, not allowing that space in front of the crease, at least not often.
Here the North Stars on the sideline cheering on their defense. They don't want to give up another goal and go down 4-3 in this game.
Not in a tie ball game against the previously successful Baldwinsville Bees, you don't. Many seniors on this older squad for the Baldwinsville Bees, part of that 2019 state championship team. So as I mentioned, a historically successful program in the Baldwinsville Bees. Rolling to the front of the crease, still a great defensive effort. The Bees can't seem to get where they want to. Tie ball game, I think it's paramount to the success of this game that the North Stars continue this defensive stand.
I think the way if the Bees win this game, Kyle, is they take it slow. They slow down this North Stars offense. Don't let them get out quick. As you see the Bees are just passing around here trying to find their shot, the right shot, not the quick shot.
It's a good way of putting it as we get across to the inside. Incidentally, falling into number 7, Emma Hollenbeck's stick, and the BVille Bees will reset as there was another cutting woman to the inside who just couldn't get her net on it. Another cutting woman, and the ball pops past again. So the ball movement lacking a little bit for the Baldwinsville Bees, taking their time, but when it matters, just can't seem to find the other stick. On the receiving end, number 14 trying to slow things down now. Out to X. 5 minutes to go. The Bees just trying to take the lead. We hear some shouting from the sideline, and now it's timeout time. So,
looks like the Bees called that timeout. Maybe Coach Tabor wants to talk things over, try and see if they can get an actual shot at that possession. That was a very long possession there for the Bees with no shots taken, really.
Yeah, to no avail, as you mentioned, Coach Tabor taking the timeout there, her first of the night. And so a lot of time to mull over what went wrong there. And really what I've noticed, Owen, excuse me, I'm used to having Rob as my caller, although I'm very excited to have you in the booth here with me today. It's tough to get that offensive possession going after an extended period of time. And what did you see that went wrong for the Bees trying to get that ball in front of the net?
I think the biggest thing there, Kyle, is passing for sure. Because you see twice there, they have the goal, the crease, was wide open, and then you have the girl cutting would have been a one-on-one with the goalie, and twice, I don't know if on the receiving end or the passing end, the ball was just shot way behind that athlete.
Yeah, essentially that assist pass just pushed wide, it seemed, a couple times, and the Bees just struggling to connect on the other end of that possible assist. So a 3-3 ball game. The CNS Lady North Stars, not necessarily a previously successful program, but this year with Stephanie Prentice stepping in as coach, have found definitely more success as of late. And now 3/8 into this ball game, all tied up with the incumbents of New York State. As mentioned before, the North Stars had a great start to the season, 5-1, 4-0 in the SCAC Metro. Their only loss to South Jefferson. They avenged that right after with an 11-9 win in their most previous game. The Baldwinsville Bees at home against FM in their most previous matchup, a 17-11 win. Talk about a stacked section, just a historically successful section when it comes to lacrosse. Is really the birthplace of it almost essentially at the high school level, Owen. And there's so many teams, boys and girls, that are just so excited to mull over just how successful they've been. You and I were on the call for a fantastic West Jenny visiting team last week for that boys matchup, and that was exciting to say the least. They only won by 1 goal, the Wildcats did.
It was a 9-8 victory in that game for the Wildcats, Kyle.
And it looks like we'll have another close matchup tonight, or at least we hope so. We try and keep things exciting up here in the booth, but when the games start to separate early like we had to see for CNS football often, it was certainly tough to make things going. But the Leading North Stars providing an exciting one early on, a 3-3 ball game, 5 minutes to go here in the first half.
Let's see if the Bees here, Kyle, can get something going on offense, maybe take a shot that they like, that Coach Tabor likes. Coming out of the timeout here. Also looking again to those great defenders on the North Stars defense, Allison Cole, Samantha Klein, and Molly McGrath. 2 of those being D1 commits to play defense.
8 D1 commits on this field tonight for lacrosse. 4 between both teams. So as much talent as you can stuff onto this field is present currently. 5 minutes to go. Muscolino and company trying to get things going. Pass to the inside. They still struggle to connect. Ball pops out. They kick it to the top of the 8. Now to the right side. Nicole Mira in net for the North Stars tonight. Now out to the top. The Bees still struggling to get things going. Once they find that cutting girl, they just can't seem to get on the receiving end. Liv Muscolino trying to get things going. The Binghamton commit. Now to the top. Molly McGrath, one of those main defenders for the North Stars tonight. She's been great all night. Rip to the inside. Mira saves. Ball pops out. Still a fight for it, and the lone BVille Bee will pick it up. Now to the right side again, and Mira makes the save. A great defensive stand on that extended play for the Baldwinsville Bees by the CNS North Stars. Owen, how pivotal do you think that possession alone will be to kind of punctuate this first half?
That was huge, Kyle. If I'm a player on this field right now and I see the team that I'm going against has had the ball for almost 5 minutes and they didn't get a goal in, I'd be very scared that they were due to get one in soon. You see Mira there making two great quick saves there to get the North Stars the ball back.
Absolutely. Nicole Mira has been electric all night. Perhaps a little bit higher of a save percentage as both teams trade possessions. The ball pops out in the midfield for a second time, and the North Stars will come out on top with it. Rolling right to the top of the crease. Penalty on the play. So just as things are getting exciting, a stoppage of play and another penalty opportunity for the North Stars.
Looks like that one will be on number 2, Sophia Ayano. As number 17, the freshman Mackenzie Prentice should be the one getting the fast break here for the North Stars. Let's see if they can score again off a fast break.
The coach's daughter, Stephanie Prentice, elects to cut in and back out, looking for an opportunity. Now it looks like Molly Mulch on the ball. Out to her sister, Brooke. To the right side. Brooke with an opportunity, spinning around, firing, and the ball pops back out.
You know, Kyle, I've seen many times Brooke has tried that spin move, but she just doesn't seem to be successful with it.
And now a fast break opportunity. This is where the Bees thrive. Right in front of the crease, ripping, and another save by Mira. She has been electric all night. A huge reflexive save to the top, trying to get Barr down on that shot. And the North Stars continue their defensive efforts. Number 20, Ava Samino, passing to the back. The ball pops out. Molly Molchanoff wants the ball, but Allie Cole will get it upfield. Now finding Brooke. As 2 minutes left here on the clock here in the first half. Still a tie ball game. The North Stars looking to take the lead back. And they do! Speak of the devil, you rip to the inside, and the North Stars have the lead. A 4-3 ball game with 1:50 to go here in the first half, Owen.
Very well said, Kyle. That looks to be number 23. The Mount St. Mary commit, Molly Molchanoff, netting her second goal tonight to give the North Stars that 4-3 lead with just under 2 minutes to go. As our PA confirms, that was Molly Molchanoff on the goal. Exciting game here, Kyle. Let's see if both these teams can close out this first half strong and bring us into an exciting second half.
The PAs always make it a little bit more exciting, but it's hard to make it any more exciting than it already is. Coming into this second half, it looks to be a one-goal ball game, but with 1:50 to go, the Bees can certainly respond and tie things up, which would only make it more exciting than it already is. Molly Molchanoff and her sister Brooke have been quite the combination. Molly, no assists on the season, but 9 goals, now 10. Brooke Molchanoff, 11 goals, 6 assists. So quite the combination as the ball pops out in the midfield, a whistle, and CNS possession. So a chance to extend this lead, rather. Tori Ionati quickly up the field. She's double-teamed, trying to cut to the top of the 8. Ionati out to X. Back out to the right. Now to X. Rotating. Trying to find an opportunity as the ball's tipped in the backfield, and BVille will pick it up. Double team. Let's see if they can maintain this possession. Seems they will. Running up the right sideline. Spinning around. Some checks from the back. BVille will slow things down, and another chance for the BVille Bees to kind of reset. Ooh, push from the back. That's a hard fall as one of the midfielders goes down. The CNS player shows remorse, but it's tough to see a lady take a hit like that in this field.
You can see here Angela Beardsley running up the field quickly. As soon as she hit that athlete for the Baltimore Bees, she knew she was getting carded, so she just made her way to the sideline. Now another set of a senior and underclassman Slimming going to bring up on the opposing Baltimore Bees. Senior leader, Liv Muscolino, who has 14 goals and 3 assists on the season. Then her sister, Sophia, who is in 10th grade, has 6 goals and 4 assists on the season. Sophia at midfield, Liv at attack.
So 2 combinations of sisters tonight that have shown their combination of power, assists, goals, you name it. It's on display tonight. Less than a minute to go. 4-3 ball game. The Lady North Stars lead. The Bees with an opportunity to tie things up. Spinning inside. Muscolino just rips wide. Mira on top of that play, but it rips wide of her net. The Bees will maintain possession. Now to the inside again. Ripped. Another save, and it pops in. A bad ricochet, and all of a sudden we're tied up. Half a minute to go, and it looks like I spoke it into existence, Owen. A tie ball game possibly going into that second half.
Kyle, as I bring it up, there's number 14, the sophomore Sophia Muscolino, netting her first goal, I want to say, for the night. As the Baltimore Bees there were a woman up, I should say, and they should be for the rest of this first half. As they capitalize there.
So
Playing
both
11 on 10. Sorry about that, Kyle.
No worries. Both teams with opportunities, a woman up to capitalize, and both teams do. So we're 2 for 2 on those man-down plays and teams capitalizing. These teams seemingly just trading opportunities at this point in whatever manner they come. CNS wins the draw. The clock's ticking away. Half a minute to go. Some ladies collide and a reset for the North Stars. Ionati and company trying to get things going at the top of the 8. Now to the right side. Tortora passing out wide. Back to Tortora. She'll rotate to X. Going to wrap around that right side. Now on the cross, and the time will expire.
Looks like she was trying to hit Tori Ionati there on the last second cut to try and give them that 5-4 lead going into halftime, Kyle. This is an awesome first half of girls lacrosse here, Section 3 SCAC Metro matchup between the CNS North Stars and the Baldinsville Bees.
As you mentioned, a 4-4 ball game. It's been a great matchup early on. It started red hot, 3 goals in only a couple of minutes, but it's slowed down since then. Only 1 goal for the North Stars since then, and a couple in the favor of the Bees as well. As I mentioned, a tie ball game coming into the second half. Looks to be a low-scoring affair, but I think that's a great time to look at the numbers of both these teams. The North Stars averaging 11.5 goals per game, and nearly 9 goals allowed, so quite a close ratio. And the same thing for the Bees, a close ratio. 8.83 goals per game and only 7.3 allowed. I mean, those statistics important, but if you look at those goals allowed, how important is that for both teams to have low numbers, Owen?
I think it's very important. It shows that their defense is coming out and ready to play today.
Absolutely. In the recent struggles of the ladies program for the North Stars in previous years, I think the defense was the biggest part. They allowed plenty of goals without scoring, obviously, as much as they wanted to, but they still had plenty of talent on the field, attacking-wise, just lacked those defenders that they needed. And clearly this year with Stephanie Prentice's presence, her daughter and company have been fantastic on defense and in the midfield, just creating that pressure, and it's on display both sides here. A 4-4 ball game. We'll be right back for some more Lady North Stars lacrosse, all tied up here at Michael J. Bragman Stadium. Welcome back to Michael J. Bragman Stadium. 30 seconds tick away until we're back for the second half, and it's a tie ball game, 4-4 both ways. These teams have been trading shots back and forth. Goalkeepers, have kind of shown their reflexes as Sam Tanguay and company for the defense of the Baldwinsville Bees have shown some good defensive stands, but really what we need to highlight, Owen, is Nicole Mira has been fantastic in net thus far, and her defenders, Molly McGrath, Allie Cole, have been fantastic as well as Sam Klein, a D1-bound player as well, has just been fantastic on the field for him.
Yeah, Kyle, Nicole Mira has been huge on defense in that goal for the North Stars. The thing is, if she's being huge on D, these girls that are back, they've got to get back to that ball. We've seen many times there. She'll get the deflection, and then it'll bounce right back to the Bees.
Absolutely. I mean, it's always hard to get the hold in net. Nicole Mira has had some tough shots all night. The young sophomore has been fantastic. 3 goalkeepers on this roster. Nicole O'Neill will find herself some minutes, and the senior Alyssa Wilson as well will try and find her way on there. Sam Tanguay, a little bit tougher of a job, not necessarily fantastic numbers thus far, but early on she had some fantastic saves as well, Owen.
Very well said, Kyle. This BVille girls lacrosse team needs to work on. They're struggling with passing, I've noticed, very much in that first half. And also, they're having a long possession time. Only four goals to show for it,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Bees have really controlled possession, yet it's a tie ball game coming into the second half. 25 minutes to go. And I think those draws have been important as well. Obviously, ground balls are pretty much pivotal to possession time in ladies lacrosse, but those draws to open it up is really what kind of dictates the story thus far, and it seems that they've really traded, which is why it's a 4-4 ball game, Owen.
Very well said, Kyle. The North Stars lacrosse goalie for the boys team, Giovanni Heater, our great friend and fellow broadcaster, told us whoever wins the face-off in guys' games and draws in girls' game will be the ones that mainly control the game. And as we see here, like you said, even draws lead to an even score on the scoreboard.
Absolutely a great observation. The beauty of the numbers of this game tonight, splitting those draws, as you mentioned, and as we previously already said, I mean, a 4-4 ball game to show for it. So Fran Tortora with Hannah Mimas. Time for that opening draw, big second half. Chance to reset for both squads. Ball pops up. A fight for it in the midfield. Molchanoff and company trying to win it, and they do. The North Stars will get away with it. Double teamed early is a stick to the face for the North Stars. They'll play through the whistle. Looks like it's Brooke Molchanoff complaining about another stick to the face. A little too physical for those BVille Bees. Now out to her sister Molly Mulch, North Stars will slow things down. Noticeable difference between some guys' games and girls' games. The girls far more technical, and a result of that is the pace of play is slowed at times. But, man, when it's action time, it's action time. It's certainly go time when they're ready to go. Brooke displaying her disdain for this heavy defense from the Bees. That's number 2 for the Bees. Sophia Ayano showing on the defensive stand. She'll start behind Brooke. And now the North Stars a chance to reset. Immediately some ball movement to the right side. Out to the top. Molly Mulch. Looking for an opportunity at the top of the 8. Right around that 20. There's Tori Iannotti. Back out to Molly. Nearly a couple minutes in and no action just yet. The North Stars taking their time as Molly Mulch goes to the inside. She's hit from the front, and the Bees will pick up possession as the ball pops out. Now rolling to the midfield. The Bees, described by Coach Tabor as a fast break team. Here's an opportunity. Now to the left. Nicole Mira, the goalkeeper, has a tough opportunity now as the ball's to the front of the crease and back out. Oh, and now this is the opportunity for the Bees to kind of slow down that defensive or offensive effort, as they've done all night. And really it's that connecting pass to the inside that's been so important. Why do you think the Bees have really struggled to do so? Is it the defensive effort from the North Stars or really just a lack of execution?
You know, Kyle, it seems every time they've had that open cutting pass that they attempted for, it didn't seem like a North Stars defender was there to stop it. So if they got that pass off, it should have ended up in a goal or also could end up in a great save by Nicole Mira. So I think if the Bees can connect on those passes when they get that open cut, like you see there, Again, just another missed pass. They got to connect on those passes, and they could be putting some more goals up, more than 4 on the scoreboard.
Absolutely. The ball movement on display a little bit both ways, but the Bees have certainly struggled more as the ball pops out again and another connecting effort to the front of the crease. The North Stars pick it up. They'll roll quickly upfield, also described as a fast break type of team, as the ball just passed over to Molly Mulch. She'll slow things down. Now to Ionati, out to the left side. That's Beardsley. Now to X. There's Fran Tortora. 15 goals, 11 assists coming into this ball game. She'll tack on a few more for both sides. Pass to the inside. Molly Mulch rips to the back of the net. There's that connecting effort, and the North Stars execute, Owen.
Kyle, you can see there the North Stars are able to do what Baldwin's been trying to do, it seems like, this whole game. They're able to get Fran Tortora behind the X, lost one over the backside of the goal. And Molly Mulch, not very tall, but she's able to catch that high pass and shoot it right down to the goal to give the North Stars that 5-4 lead.
Early in the second half of this ball game, the North Stars displaying this proper execution a little bit better than their counterpart in the Bees tonight. The Bees visiting the North Stars, 4-1 coming into this matchup. The North Stars 5-1, 4-0 in the SCAC. Their only loss in the season is South Jefferson, and you have to wonder what was going on in that game because tonight, against the incumbent 2019 state champions, they're really just putting on a show on the offensive side early on. As we've mentioned, teams have traded goals now, but it's a 5-4 ball game, and the North Stars on the proper side of that. The ball pops out in the draw, and the Bees again winning that ground ball, perhaps starting to win a little bit more than the North Stars, but not reflective on the scoreboard. Now to X. Molly McGrath and company there for another defensive stand. Back out to X. Rolling to the right side, spin move, top of the crease, trying to find the angle. Stoppage of play, tough to tell what just happened. Was there a whistle on the play? Looks like there was. We'll get the penalty. Rolling to the inside, rip, and a goal. Tied right up. The Baldwinsville Bees just so quick on those penalties and finally one that falls in their favor. Oh, and the Bees struggle with the ball movement, but on an opportunity with the penalty, they put a goal away.
Yeah, Kyle, you see there the senior commit to Georgetown, Emma Gabhart, gets in for the BVille Bees goal, tying this game up at 5 apiece.
So a slower pace game with 20 minutes to go here in the second half, but the Bees finally tie it back up, and really in quick fashion, they finally get a break with a penalty on the inside, and so they don't need to create that connecting pass, it seems, and it falls in their favor. Ionati and Mimas at the midfield for the draw.
Tortero there for the correction. Kyle?
They're mixing up those face-off girls for sure. We know Brooke Molchanoff can get in there on the face-offs a little bit as the Bees win that draw, and a penalty to the inside. Perhaps another penalty opportunity for the Bees, and it looks like it is.
And Kyle, Tortorg has faced many of these girls along with Samantha Klein on the basketball court as well. You see number 34, Sydney Tutala, and number 8, Hannah Mimas, both played basketball for the Bees this season.
The ball pops out, and another fantastic save by Mira, who will roll it out to her counterpart and the defender for the North Stars, and just another fantastic display of reflexes for the goalkeeping of the North Stars. Speaking of goalkeeping, Owen, you and I, good friends with our broadcasting partner Giovanni Heater, who's visiting BVille tonight for a great matchup. He's displayed some reflexes, to say the least, in the field as well.
Very well said, Kyle. Gio, great goalie for that North Stars defense. Waiting to see what he's going to do tonight. Probably playing right now. Most likely playing right now, I should say, at Baldwinsville.
Baldwinsville has quite the facility as well. Definitely fun to play out there on the soccer field, but really just in general, another great stadium in Section 3 sports. Ball just passed wide, seemed to be tipped. North Star possession. Rolling to the right side, trying to get a buddy pass in. No clear opportunities just yet. The Bees very good at trying to mark those cutters, but they can't that time. The North Stars put another one away, a 6-5 lead with 19 to go here in the second half.
Look, that was the sophomore, the younger sister of the senior. That was Brooke Molchenoff there with the goal for the North Stars. You know, she always seems to have that connection with Fran Tortora. As Fran's on that X, she cuts in and gets the goal in for the North Stars.
Connections aplenty for the North Stars early on, and seems to be more success in the favor of the younger Molchenoff. A little bit more size to her, and because of that, she's able to reach out and get that cut and pop it right into the back of the net, and with speed as well. It's been very impressive early on. Hannah Mimas, Fran Tortora for the face-off, the draw, excuse me.
You just calling that guys lacrosse, Kyle?
I'm so used to it, but really this is so much more exciting as the Lady North Stars, keep these games close. A 6-5 ball game. Literally, I mean, these goals have just been traded back and forth, Owen.
Very well said, Kyle. These goals have been traded back and forth. I've never seen a lead more than 2 in this game, which is great for us as broadcasters. Most CNS sports, or sporting events I should say, CNS is usually on top. Makes it a little slower for us, especially with football and girls basketball.
Yeah, to say the least. I mean, you and I with these football games, it was almost boring to call just because they would separate so early and with dominance. North Stars slowing things down again. Out to X. Tortora will simply walk things up to the right side of that crease, trying to make a move. To the inside. Molly. That's Brooke, putting the goal away. No, that was Molly. It's so tough to tell the difference between these two athletes, but nonetheless, some more success for the Molchenoffs tonight. Another defensive effort turns into another goal, and the North Stars trying to separate early here in the second half.
Just got a little update, Kyle. As we hear from our PA, it was my motto. But I just want to say, as the half just came to a close over at Baldwinsville, the BVille Bees boys lacrosse team has a 9-4 lead over the North Stars.
There's definitely been some defensive struggles as of late for the boys North Stars team.
And does not help that their senior Fogo guy, Aiden Long, hurt his shoulder in the opening game in the first quarter against FM. Now let's get back to some girls lacrosse, Kyle.
Absolutely. Following some track practice, I was speaking with some of the athletes in there, and one of them, unfortunately, at the trainer's room is Aiden Long, working on that shoulder. And on that 5-step program for concussion protocol as well. Struck with an incidental cross-check in that opening game of the season. So tough to see him go out early on. You can tell in his manner that he's just so disappointed not to be able to play, but still great to see Aiden Long in great spirits. He's always a positive light in that training room, as the North Stars looking to extend their lead, winning that opening draw. And another penalty opportunity for the North Stars.
As I mentioned earlier, Kyle, I haven't seen a lead in today's game more than 2. Let's see if that can happen right now with the North Stars.
That would be pivotal to the North Stars' success tonight, trying to extend this lead. Whistle blows to the top. Stick in the way, popped out. BVille will get away with one. 17 to go. As we've mentioned before, Coach Tabor describing her squad as a fast break team. She wants to push the pace, and you see it on display after getting those defensive stands, how quick they just rush up the field. Now to the top of the crease. Pushed back out to the 8. Can't seem to find some space in this Bees offense. Another chance for the North Stars to make an extended defensive stand as the Bees really do take their time, trying to get the ball to the back of the net.
Yeah, this Bees offense, once they get the ball back after a North Stars possession, they like to take it quick and try and get a goal. If they don't see that, they like to pull out and then take things slow, as we're seeing right here, fold out in front of us.
Emma Hollenbeck and company trying to get things going for the BVille Bees offense. Spinning out, right side, shot just ripped wide. Man, what an effort right there from number 10 for the Bees, Emma Gebhardt, the Georgetown-bound commit. Spinning around and ripping that shot, inches away from the pipe. Now to the inside, speak of the devil. Gebhardt puts the goal away. It's a 1-goal ball game with 16 to go.
Kyle, you see here, this BVille Bees offense cannot seem to get the goals to go through with an assist, so a lot of their goals seem to be unassisted, just solo isolation, as you see here, Gebhardt Gets another one for the Bees, put them down 1. Like you said, 16 to go in this ball game.
Great observation. As you mentioned, they've struggled with that ball movement on the connecting end of those assists, and so a lot of these goals unassisted so far. As number 25, Angela Beardsley checks in. She has 9 goals, 0 assists coming into this game for the North Stars.
She seems to always be on the receiving ends of those Fran Tortora passes, Kyle, just like the two Malchinoff sisters. I almost said twins.
Jenna Pickard trying to get loose in the sideline for the North Stars. Perhaps we'll see more and more players getting onto the field. Tortora. Out to the top.
Here, Coach Tabor yelling on the sideline to her BVille girls, trying to not let girls get through. You can hear her saying, Kyle, excuse me.
Yeah, as I mentioned, no lack of communication on the field tonight. Another pass to the inside, stopped by one of the BVille Bees defenders.
Tortora got that pass into Prentice, but number 34, Sydney Hutala, was there to stop Mackenzie in her steps pretty much.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Sydney Hutala and Gwen Madden have been fantastic on defense tonight. Gwen Madden finally getting some minutes, and she's getting some stops in that play too. A penalty opportunity for the North Stars. Chance to extend the lead. She rips a shot to the left side of goalkeeper Santangwe. Man, she's had quite the job tonight. 8 goals allowed thus far, a 2-goal ball game.
Torian out of there, Kyle, not even electing to go in, just elects to rip one right from the whistle and gets one to go.
Talk about confidence from distance at the 8-meter mark. She doesn't elect to go in. She just rips it wide and into the bottom of the net. As you mentioned, Torian Nadi, man, on display right there. 6 goals, 3 assists coming into this game, and she's certainly extended both of those numbers thus far.
Greatly said, Kyle. Greatly said. Now let's see. Tortora and Mimas back at it for the draw.
As you mentioned, Fran Tortora, Hannah Mimas. A D1 commit versus a 3-star star, I suppose you could say. Hannah Mimas. I've seen her and called her for soccer. She's quite the athlete in the soccer field, a strong left foot. Really both feet, honestly. So you see that ambidextricity, you suppose, on display tonight for lacrosse as the ball pops out and CNS will maintain possession. Out to Molly Mulch. And I believe that's Tori Ainati. At the top of the 8. Slow pass to the inside. Now Fran Tortora, inching her way to the crease. See those women cutting to the inside, decides not to connect as Tortora. Instead back out to Ainati. Now she passes to one of the Molchinoffs.
What I see in this North Stars offense, Kyle, is as Tortora is on the X, you have one girl cut on the close side of Tortora. Then if that one's not there, you have another girl cut in behind her on the far side, and that's the one that usually connects for the goal.
Some incidental screen action and some contact, and so the North Stars having to trade possessions now. The Bees, a chance to slow things down and reset. Again, quickly upfield, the Bees always try and get in that attacking third with pace. Out to the left side of goalkeeper Nicole Mira. Back out to X. Mira quick to turn around. Now to the top.
Looks like Gabhart needs to be Taylor Metcalf on the opposite side of the X. They love to hang out behind there and try and get those passes around for the BVille Bees.
Yeah, Gabhart and Metcalf have been trading passes all night, just trying to move the ball around and create an opportunity. Now to the right side, the top of your screen.
Correction, that's actually Taylor Natoli, the Louisville commit, on the other side of Gabhart.
Too many Taylors on this field, Owen.
Yes.
12 to go. The Bees finally getting near the crease. The ball pops back out. And now to the right side, rotating around. Mira quick to get that face guard defense. They'll rotate back around as Allie Cole steps in, and they'll pop the ball back out to X, and now rotating around to the left side of Mira.
There was great defense there from Maya McGrath on Natoli. Not letting her get a shot off on her sophomore goalie, Mira.
Sam Hunter passing to the inside. There's Muscolino. Spinning around, top of the crease. Back out near X. Now they do go X. To the left side of Nicole Mira. Agility on display, trying to find their way to the crease. Can't seem to do it. It's number 2, Sofia Ayano, on the ball there. You can imagine the defense for the Bees getting a nice break here as they try and get another goal going. Rip to the inside, and they get it. Mira not quick enough for that one, ripping to the top left corner. The Bees trying to tie things up. An 8-7 ball game with 11.5 to go. They finally concede another goal after an extended offensive possession for the Bees.
That was a great move there by the senior. McGaffard, excuse me, sorry. She fakes to the right to get Molly McGrath off balance, I should say, and then she goes back left and gets the goal in on Nicole Mira.
Owen, you and I struggling both ways to catch these numbers. The field dimly lit tonight. Nonetheless, some beautiful weather outside as the sun sets. An 8-7 ball game. The North Stars lead, 11.5 to go, and a timeout for the North Stars. So Coach Stephanie Prentice, essentially first-year coach now and looking to mull things over. As I mentioned, 11.5 to go. Only 1 goal lead for the North Stars as the Bees finally get some momentum, it appears, in that previous goal by Emma Gebhardt. Perhaps some momentum in their favor. Emma Gebhardt, the Georgetown commit, 12 goals, 9 assists coming into this game. So it's evident that if she gets going, it can turn out very bad for the North Stars, a team who has had their fair share of struggles defensively in some games. We saw it in the South Jefferson loss. 13 goals conceded, obviously nearly the most they've given up all season. FM trying to make a stand for that in their game. At FM, the North Stars conceded 12, of course scoring 18 in that win. As mentioned before, the North Stars 5-1, 4-0 in the SCAC Metro. The Bees 4-1, 3-1 in the SCAC Metro.
They got that one out-of-league win at JD, a 15-9 win. JD usually is a very solid lacrosse program, boys and girls-wise.
Yeah, no, JD is a successful program, soccer, lacrosse, basketball, you name it. A fantastic B-level school, and the Baldwinsville Bees not afraid to face that competition. Same thing with the North Stars facing that C-level squad in South Jefferson, who sectionally is always a successful team as well, and avenging their only loss of the season to South Jefferson in their most previous game this past weekend with a win 11-9. So they kept it close both ways in the first game, South Jeff winning 13-12, and then the North Stars walking away in the second matchup 11-9. So I'm sure the North Stars glad to have scheduled those games as South Jefferson traded some hard ones with them.
Definitely great practice and great non-league play for the North Stars there. In that game that they lost by 1, the 13-12 game against South Jefferson, Tori Ainati had a last-second goal but just couldn't get one to go. As you're coming out of the break here, the BVille Bees is looking to take the field very quickly coming out of that huddle. Let's see what the rest of the second half brings us, Kyle.
Absolutely. I think the energy's still a buzz here at Michael J. Bragman Stadium as the crowd hushes a little bit. It's still a close ball game, so I'm sure they'll find themselves on their feet once again. Of course, Fran Tortora ready for the face-off. Seems to be already the first one there, it seems, ready to just get Mimas there and get going. So after the timeout, an opportunity for the North Stars to try and extend their lead. They've won most of the draws as of late, but still they've traded both ways and essentially keeping that game close.
Maybe you think, Kyle, usually Brooke Molchanoff's the one in there is what I mostly see when I am attending these games. Maybe since Mimas is a stronger athlete here, they want Tortora more of another strong athlete in with her for the draws.
Tortora and Mimas for the draw. Ball pops up in the direction of the Bees. Another ground ball. Those have been pivotal all night as it seems Ayanati taken down on that face-off opportunity. And then another hard hit in the sideline, getting a little physical here.
As Allie Cole knocks down Taylor Metcalf, trying to get the ball back for the North Stars, but BVille Bees will retain possession.
Allie Cole, a defensive star in the field hockey field as well. The Bees with pace to the inside. Molly McGrath with a defensive effort, and the ball pops out. They'll run it upfield. The North Stars picking things up. Now you hear the crowd getting up on their feet. That's Ayanati getting the ball. Ayanati, midfielder for the North Stars, has been fantastic both ways on defense and offense. She's certainly been a contributor on offense. Seems to always be in those possessions that result in those goals. The North Stars have needed all night. The Bees with no leads just yet in this game, but nonetheless, they've traded goals both ways, and it's only a one-goal ball game in favor of the North Stars. Tortora from X, rolling out to the right side, trying to find an opening in Sam Tagway and company. Now to the inside, they rip, and they're stroking the net. The North Stars extending their lead, a 9-7 ball game with 10 to go.
Kyle, looks to be Molly Molchanoff there, and if I'm not mistaken, that is a hat trick for her. She has 3 of the CNS 8 goals today.
The Molchanoff sisters have been fantastic all season coming into this game, as I mentioned before. 11 goals, 6 assists for Brooke, and 9 goals, no assists just yet for Molly.
Confirmation from the PA, that was Molly Molchanoff and her 3rd goal of the game. Kyle, if I'm Coach Prentice in this North Stars offense here, I'd like to see more. You've seen a lot of Brooke Molchanoff tonight being aggressive, but I'd like to see more out of the other freshmen, Mackenzie Prentice and Angela Beardsley.
Absolutely. Mackenzie Prentice, as you mentioned, the freshman on this squad, the daughter of Coach Stephanie Prentice. No politics in the way of that, as she's been fantastic all season.
6 goals and 3 assists on the year, and then 9 goals, no assists on the year for the other freshman, Angela Beardsley.
More contact in the midfield as the ball pops out, and Fran Tortora and company will rush up the field. Top left of your screen. Tortora making a move. Now to Molly Mulch. To Ayanati. Back to Molly.
See Ayanati and Brooke Molchanoff here will be trading off. Brooke coming in for Tori.
One thing I've noticed thus far is the lack of contribution from the young player in Shea Firth. Older brother Nolan Firth, a defensive star for the North Stars in the boys lacrosse field.
He is heading off to Hobart next year, Kyle, to play lacrosse for them. Great program up there.
Yeah, Hobart certainly had their contributions in the CNS program. Trying to convert many players from there to play some more D1 lacrosse. As there's more contact in the sideline at the top of your screen, the BVille Bees will maintain possession.
You know, Kyle, for a girls' game that isn't supposed to be very physical, we are seeing a very physical matchup here tonight.
Yeah, regardless of gender, I think it's obvious just how physical these athletes are and really on display all the time. I mean, it doesn't matter who we're watching. That's just the way the North Stars play. And that's what's so beautiful about the Lady North Stars tonight is the effort is so evident. Muscolino from midfield, rolling to the inside. Out to the top. Another opportunity for the Bees. As we mentioned before, the Lady North Star is so fantastic to watch. The great thing about them is they keep things interesting, whether or not they're blowing out a team, as they usually do. As we mentioned before, the Lady North Star is one of the most successful programs at CNS currently, 5-1. But they rip a shot to the inside, and Nicole Mira continues that success. Another fantastic save from the sophomore.
On the defensive side, Kyle, Nicole Mira has been a huge part, probably the biggest part of this success for the CNS defense tonight.
She's certainly been the biggest asset tonight. Her and Molly McGrath have really led this defense. Nearly 7.5 to go. 9-7 lead for the North Stars. Rolling up past the midfield. Things getting a little dense up there on the attacking third. Now it appears Molly Molchanoff passing off. Out to the bottom of your screen. Rolling to the inside, she has some space. Pushed back out by the BVille Bees.
This Bees defense loves to collapse. And
some space to the inside. You mentioned it. The defense collapses and another goal conceded for the Bees. The North Stars extending their lead. A 10-7 ball game with 7 to go.
Junior Jenna Pickard there, ripping one to give the North Stars, like you said, the 10-7 lead. That should be her 7th goal on the season.
You mentioned it, Jenna Pickard, off the bench. Another fantastic play from her. Glad to see her finally contributing, as younger players have yet to do so, such as Shea Firth, who I'm sure we'll find in the attacking end getting things going soon enough. But Jenna Pickard off the bench, you and I mentioned it earlier, getting loose and immediately off the bench making a contribution.
Here Firth's name there as she got the assist there to Pickard. No goals yet from her tonight. Let's see if she can get one in this last 7 minutes for the North Stars.
You mentioned it, Shea Firth actually making her contribution. She's quite the athlete as well, just watching her.
Yeah.
Super fast, super athletic. Really, I mean, all of these girls, just so impressive. The manner in which they really just bull rush to the crease and make things happen. Including Molchanov, as we see right now. That's another really fun player to watch, as she's just so quick. It's unbelievable how fast some of these athletes are. Now rolling out to the top of the crease. Pass to the inside. To the top. Oh, spinning to the inside. She makes someone fall. Ball pops up, and the Bees will just get away with it.
Could hear me, Kyle, going there a little. Ooh.
Oh, my goodness.
I love seeing some ankles taken in any sport.
That was number 17, the freshman Mackenzie Prentice. Jeez. Making the poor woman fall. The Bees with a chance to respond on that offensive effort. The ball tipped in the inside, trying to connect, and to the back of the net. The Bees quickly upfield. They put another one away.
See, Kyle, a great tip there by Allie Cole, but it's almost the BVille lacrosse girl was ready there for the ball. Just looked like she caught the ball and instantly took that stick down and shot the ball in.
Yep, a little give and go action for the Bees, and that'll give them right back within reach, 6 minutes to go, and the goal they just needed to respond.
What I'm seeing out of both these teams, Kyle, all around on the field, which I absolutely love. They have their primary leaders, the North Stars with Molly Mulch and Fran Tortora. We have mentioned their name many times tonight. And then the BVille side, you got Hannah Meebus, Liz Mussolino, and Emma Gebhardt, both leading. Then you have all the surrounding players who have all contributed their part, making this a great SCAC matchup.
Tortora and Meebus. A huge draw here if the North Stars can get away with a possession here, an opportunity to extend the lead and really bury this game away, as it's been a little bit slower pace tonight, and so with that, these possessions extended enough in order for the North Stars to walk away with it, even if it's just a 3-goal lead. As I mentioned that, the Bees do win the draw. And as seen several times before, they just get upfield with blazing speed. Owen, you and I mentioned several times now the speed on this field.
Both sides.
My
great,
goodness.
Great speed. It's awesome. I love seeing some speed, especially out of young athletes who are only going to get faster.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of speed, Muscolino to the right side, just ripping over the top of the net. Bees will maintain possession. Clock ticking away. Nearly 5 minutes to go. The Bees with another opportunity to bring it within reach. Just doing circles around the net. And another assist to the inside. The Bees stroking the net once again. All of a sudden, it's a 1-goal ball game.
Kyle, that was a great drive to the left side by Natoli, and she flips it over the top to Gebhardt, who just rips one in for the BVille Bees.
Natoli to Gebhardt for nearly the equalizer. A 10-9 ball game with 5:11 to go.
Could almost call that one Louisville to Georgetown there, Kyle.
Absolutely, as you mentioned, a stack of D1 athletes on both sides. Now would be a great time to list them as Meebus and Tortora prepare for the face-off. Louisville is where Natoli's headed. You mentioned Muscolino earlier, headed to Bing, and you mentioned Georgetown just there for Emma Gebhardt. Of course, you can't forget UAlbany for Jaden Frink. We'll mention the North Stars D1 commits later as we're having some more action in the midfield. The Bees collecting themselves perhaps some momentum. A 10-9 ball game. The Bees trying to tie things up quickly. A no call, and we hear the fans disgust. Some contact in that midfield, and there was a no call on it. Some fans in disagreement of it. I can't blame them. Now to X. Perhaps that no call pivotal as the Bees with an opportunity to tie things up in this possession. To the inside, ripped. Mira with the save. Whistle on the play. the crowd in agreement now. And the North Stars with an opportunity to perhaps shut up the mouths of these fans in the favor of the BVille Bees, trying to tie things up. Quite the momentum the Bees have created themselves, Owen.
Yeah, Kyle, and all I can say is this crowd is only going to get louder as this great game comes to a close. We just hit the 4-minute mark.
Yeah, this clock ticks away, and it just seems to get warmer and warmer out despite it, the sun setting. It's just, you feel the pressure as the clock ticks away. So many close ball games you and I have called thus far. None for football, as we've mentioned, Owen, but for lacrosse, that West Jenny game was really interesting, and at times that FM game, too, for the boys. A couple of girls' games have been a little close, but the girls a little bit more successful in their lacrosse season thus far, and they've really kept it interesting with just how good they've been, and really some pure domination. Impressive just how South Jefferson ever found themselves on top as the Bees, the incumbent state champs, struggling to stay on top. No leads for the Baldwinsville Bees just yet, but certainly making a case to find their way back. Down 3 goals, 2/3 of the way there to tying it up, but a North Star possession. Molchanoff now to Ionati. Ionati to the top. They elect to pass out. Now there's Fran Tortora. Ooh, look at the agility on her as well. As I've mentioned before, the speed on display everywhere. To the right side of Sam Tangway and company. 2.5 to go. The North Stars will certainly draw out as much clock as possible, and you'd have to imagine that double team will come soon as Sam Tangway might leave that net and try and make things happen.
If I'm the North Stars offense here, I wouldn't necessarily say stall, but I'm gonna try and just get a pass around, not go for that quick shots they like to go for, just try and get nice good ball movement going. If that shot's there, like they'll be looking for it. Excuse me, sorry, they'll take it.
It's a little cold up here in the booth tonight. We'll use that as our excuse for the starters you've heard on this broadcast all night. This game a little bit slower, so you and I trying to create as much interest as possible. But really, this game has been plenty interesting, not to say anything about the game. I mean, keeping it close like this has been awesome. But really, the North Stars, a team that, with fashion, can extend their leads when they want to. It's just with the command of offense the Bees have created in recent possessions, they've really clawed their way back. And now an opportunity to do so. The North Stars riding back on defense. Nicole Mira with quite the job in front of her. The Bees to the top of the crease. Inside. Ripped. Ball pops back out. And another save from Mira. My goodness, some chaos. I'm losing track of it all, Owen.
2 great saves there by Mira, Kyle. One on the fast break and one on the get back right away. Very quick reaction time by just the sophomore goalie there. 2 more years of her will be fantastic for this North Stars defense.
Mira's been fantastic all night, but can it hold the offensive pressure of the Baldwinsville Bees? The Bees looking to go 5-1, 4-1 in the season coming into this matchup. The North Stars certainly the toughest matchup they've had all year. Timeout. So a chance for both coaches to mull things over. A minute to go, Baldwinsville possession.
Now, Kyle, if the North Stars can pull away with this one, as I spoke to many of the athletes in school throughout the week, is that they said that this is the team to be in their league and in the section, really. This is their biggest competition for that sectional title later in the season. Let's see if they can make a statement game here and get out on top early in that league.
Absolutely, and that's the beauty of it all, Owen. You and I, still high school students here at CNS High School, being able to speak with these athletes on a day-to-day basis. I mean, I just gave you an anecdote on speaking with Aiden Long, that Fogo for the boys lacrosse team, and seeing him rehab. I'm glad to say his rehab has been going very successfully. He looks fantastic and certainly itching to get back out in the field. I've spoken with other athletes who are out on the sidelines, such as Kyle Toms, who broke his hand in football as one of the linebackers, and man, has he been itching to get back out. Jaden Greco earlier as well, so a lot of defenders on the training room, perhaps as expected, as they have the rougher side of the sport, perhaps. Not to mention the goalkeeping. That sounds terrifying to me, although I've played it a little bit in soccer. But lacrosse is just a different sport, and it's the beauty of it all is the pressure these goalkeepers have. Nicole Mira has not collapsed under it. I mean, we've mentioned before, pressure makes diamonds, and Mira is certainly a diamond in the rough tonight as she's been fantastic on defense. But can she hold off this momentum for the Bees? I'd imagine that's what Coach Stephanie Prentice is running over with her team. What do you think Prentice is probably instilling in her players right now in order to get this defensive stand on?
I would tell you that I don't care. There's only 1 minute left on that clock. If I'm Coach Prentice, I'm telling my girls that this game is not over yet. You need to stay with the same defense intensity that you've had for the for the last part of the game.
And on the other end, if the Bees find themselves riding with the clock ticking away, what are the odds you think they'll pull Sam Tanguay and get that double team to try and force a possession and run upfield?
I say Tanguay isn't pulled unless the North Stars are generally just stalling around, passing around the 20-yard line for football. So.
Absolutely. I mean, the North Star is very good with their time management, a team who has had a little bit more possession time, or perhaps rather close, although the Bees have had some very extended possessions. The Bees quickly moving the ball around. An opportunity for Gebhardt and company to try and tie things up, rolling to the left side of Mira. Mira spins around, watching those athletes run around her crease. Rolling out to the top. Double team to the inside. Ripped! And it's a tie ball game! Fans jumping up and down in favor of the Bees. And all of a sudden we're tied up with nearly less than half a minute to go, Owen.
Kyle, that was an amazing goal there. You see the BVille lacrosse girl. She takes the ball, takes the stick from almost behind her body, brings it around her head, and nets one in right there. Bringing this tie to a game. We have 3:33 on the clock, 33.3 seconds. An intense game. We're maybe most likely seeing some overtime. Let's see what the North Stars can do, or the Bees, whoever wins this draw.
So both teams just break into double digits. And on this draw, man, talk about pivotal draws. Fran Tortora better win this one if the North Stars want to come out on top. Hannah Mimas with a huge draw for the Bees. If they win this one, you'd have to imagine they're rushing upfield with pace. Ball pops out. North Stars win it. Quickly upfield. Imagine they're not going to take too much time to try and put this goal away. Spin move to the inside. Rolling out to the top of the crease. A little bit of space now. Back out to the inside. Ball pops out. Fight for it. Can the North Stars get it? Still some bodies flying around, and it seems the Bees will get away with one. 5 seconds on the clock. You'd have to imagine we're going into overtime. A 10-10 ball game. A great comeback for the Bees. And all of a sudden, the clock buzzes. So we're overtime bound here at Michael J. Bragman Stadium. Both teams confused as they see the clock is buzzed and it's ready to go. Perhaps both teams with such a pace of game have not had time to see the clock, and now all of a sudden 10-10 with none left. 3 minutes on the board. It's going to be fantastic once this game gets going. What do you think these teams are going to run over now that it's a 10-10 ball game? The North Stars certainly trying to get control of this game again as the momentum's in favor of the Bees, Owen.
The North Stars got to keep that defensive intensity they have in the beginning of this first half. They started to pull away almost in those first 10-15 minutes of this half. And the Bees at the close of the second half just started to crawl back in, as we all saw unfold in front of us.
Absolutely. If this game were a movie, Megan Tabor is certainly the director, and she's written quite the script tonight in favor of the Bees as they've clawed their way back from 3 down. It's just been fantastic watching this comeback for the Bees, but can they capitalize and finish? Punctuating on the opportunity will be pivotal in order to finish the way they have to.
One thing I failed to mention, Kyle, that I really wanted to bring up is that there are 2 players on CNS that are unfortunately sidelined 2 attacks, both juniors, Riley Kosick and Gabby Cicerelli, both sidelined with ACL tears. Riley Kosick tore hers in the club season over the summer, and Gabby Cicerelli tearing hers in the Liverpool game last Tuesday. Very, very unfortunate injuries for those girls.
Yeah, you and I were discussing it earlier. Riley Kosick, a smaller player, but man, is she fast too, and her stick skills are fantastic in previous seasons as a freshman and sophomore, putting up great seasons. I mean, as a young player, if you're starting on this team, you've got to have some skill, and it's evident early on. And obviously, Gabby Cicerelli injured in a previous game that you and Rob were on the call for. That's tough to see as well. Cicerelli, quite the personality off the field, but really just mainly a fantastic lacrosse player as well. Quite the plethora of injuries and athletes and characteristics that you have to love about the culture of CNS High School. There's so much to love about everyone here.
Well said, Kyle. Well said. And I'd like to mention, got an update about 20 minutes ago. The boys lacrosse team were down 13-4 against the Bees. Very unfortunate. Let's see if they can somehow make a comeback in the second half like we saw. Not as big as one as the girls just pulled off here for the Baldwinsville Bees, but hey, never know what can happen in high school sports.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just what's so exciting about the Baldwinsville Bees. Another head of these, athletic departments in Section 3, always a tough team to face. But in girls' lacks, especially, it's just so exciting to watch them play.
All right, Kyle, we got a 3-minute overtime here as the girls look to take the field I think this opening draw might be the most important draw of the game. Kyle, what do you think about that?
I think you proposed it perfectly. This draw is massive.
Looks like Tortora is already there for the North Stars. Let's see who the Bees send out. If I were to guess, I would say it's Mimas.
So sudden death here at Michael J. Bragman Stadium. 3 minutes to go in overtime. Fran Tortora, as you've mentioned, quick to get to that X in the middle of the field. She's always itching to get that draw going. She's been fantastic on draws tonight, nearly splitting them with Hannah Mimas.
Wish we had a live stat so we could know those exact numbers. But, hey, we are Rise Site, and our memory has been pretty well remembering the general pace of that, if I were to say, Kyle.
It's sudden death, right? Because I looked it up. I think it said sudden death. Now Tortora and Mimas for the draw. 3 minutes to go, but perhaps a lot shorter as it's sudden death here at Michael J. Bragman Stadium. A 3-goal comeback for the Baldwinsville Bees has really set the story, and with the time ticking away, they've capitalized on every opportunity they can. Immediately off the draw, a whistle in the favor of the North Stars. They'll reset right around the 35.
And now, Kyle, if I'm the North Stars, I would not want to give the Bees to get a chance on offense in this 3 minutes. If I say I just take these 3 minutes here, just pass the ball around, try and get that good shot, not a quick shot.
Absolutely. As you mentioned, just finding the right opportunity, not the quickest one. You have 2.5 on the clock. All the time you want if you're the North Stars to try and put that goal away. Sudden death here at Michael J. Bragman Stadium, in case I haven't mentioned it before. In case you missed it, the Baldwinsville Bees writing quite the script early on. And later in that second half, man, clawing away from a 3-goal deficit. How fantastic is that? Talk about Section 3 sports. That's as exciting as it gets. Tortora, right around X. Rotating inside, had an opportunity, turns around and puts it away. The BVille Bees trying to claw back. But the North Stars say otherwise. Game over. And they wrap it up here at Michael J. Bragman Stadium.
That's the ball game there. Kyle, junior leader Fran Tortora gives North Stars the 11-10 victory, as she was a huge part on the offensive side along with Molly Molchanoff in this North Stars victory. Great game here at Michael J. Bragman Stadium, Kyle.
What a way to close it out. And who else but Fran Tortora to put it away coming into this game. 15 goals, 11 assists. Tack on to those numbers because, man, she had quite the matchup tonight. Those defenders tried their best, but the size and athleticism of Tortora was just fantastic all night, and eventually too much to handle in OT. So a comeback for the Bees to no avail.
Kyle, I'm sitting here watching Tortora hang out on the top side of their screen, the far side of the field, if you would say. Just taking the ball slow, and then you see her go on X. I could tell by her mentality, like I know her personally. She was repping that goal. She wanted to be the one to get that game winner, and she sure did there. The Stony Brook commit. Give the North Stars the victory.
Stony Brook has quite the commit coming in. I mean, she's only a junior, and she's putting up great plays like that. That, I'm sure, under the lights here at Michael J. Bragman Stadium has to be a memory she'll never forget. And we certainly will not. So the North Stars wrap it up. We'll be back next week for some FM lacrosse, but for now, the North Stars celebrating a huge OT win. Our PA announcer celebrating the win, and so are the North Stars. I have to thank Spencer Conjal, our producer tonight, Drew Williams, our cameraman. Of course, Daryl White not in the studio today for PA, but still a fantastic job from our PA tonight. Coach Campbell in attendance from the soccer team, but of course our spotter tonight. And of course, to my right, Owen O'Keefe. I'm Kyle Marshak. We'll be back next week for some more North Stars lacrosse.